No Fey were harmed in making of this wine.
This is our 1-year aged Fey wine. But does Fey wine really age? Anyway, if you don't play D&D, you probably won't get that joke. Yeah, this is 15.1%. This is our Fey wine, which was a massive concoction of a lot of things. I don't even remember everything that's in it.
All the things.
I know Derica really enjoyed this even when it was young.
All the things. First off, its color is this really pretty...
It's like an orange
like
now.
an apricot kind of color. Because it's orange with a touch of pink.
Yep.
So apricot's the color.
That goes with some of the ingredients that I seem to remember.
Yep. And the aroma...
The scent is amazing. It's so...
It's glorious. It's glorious.
So layered.
So if it tastes like it smells, and I know this has been a repeating theme for this beverage, this is going to be like...
That's right. Didn't it smell awful and taste good?
No, it always smelled good.
Oh, did it?
And then the taste was kind of...
Wasn't this the one that almost knocked me out when I first smelled it, when we opened it? Yeah.
Was that the... Okay, so maybe it didn't always smell good.
Yeah. Burnt my nostrils.
Anywho, it's really wonderful.
Or was that Klingon blood wine?
I don't know. We made them both around the same time, so I don't remember.
But anyway, it smells really good. I smell flowers. I smell rose. I smell
strawberry.
Orange, strawberry. Yeah, it's very berry, very strawberry. Now that you mention that, now that's all I can smell. I'm tasting it. Wow. It doesn't taste like alcohol. Very little alcohol.
It kind of almost, sort of, tastes like a seltzer water, but it's not sparkling.
It kind of does.
But it has that like...
It's like fruity water.
Yeah, yeah.
It really does taste like fruity water. It's got a little more thickness than that, a little more viscosity.
But even though it's not carbonated, it tastes like carbonated water because it has a little bit of that word that I can't think of, the carbonation flavor.
Effervescence?
Well, no. You know how like it's kind of bitter?
Oh yeah, it does have a little bit of a bitter finish on it.
But I attribute that to the alcohol, but it doesn't initially read as alcohol unless you know that there's alcohol.
You'll get schnockered on this stuff.
By the way, this is 15%, so yeah.
It's not my thing, I will be honest. This is not my thing.
And I'm okay with that, because it is totally my thing.
Yeah. This is far better than it was a year ago, as I recall. A year ago, I was okay with it. I don't think I loved it. I think you liked it a lot better than I did. I don't know if we were giving scores back then.
And if memory is serving me correctly, which I doubt it is, I remember it smelling really good and then the taste was kind of meh. Well, I feel like aging in this instance has actually brought the flavor up rather than mellowing things out. So it's still blended very well in the flavor profiles, but I feel like I'm getting more flavor out of it than I did initially.
Yeah, yeah. What I'm missing is a little bit of mouthfeel. It could be a little thicker. Just a little bit.
It is really light and clean and bright, if you will.
On the entrance, it's very flowery, and then it goes into like a little bit of a richness, but not overly so. Just kind of a rich fruit flavor. Not deep fruit, but like an apple pear kind of rich fruit. And then the strawberry starts to come in, and then there's an astringency there that she said might be the alcohol. I think she might be right. There's an astringency towards the end that lasts on the finish. It's not unpleasant. I actually like it because it cuts that sweetness. I don't remember this being overly sweet before. I think it went more or less dry.
Yeah.
It has a good sweet flavor to it, but then it goes to this dry, it goes to this dry thing at the end that's really lovely.
It's very cleansing. It would work really well as like an aperitif type or in-between courses. Aperitif is before and
I don't know.
See, here I am throwing out the big words and not really know what I'm talking about.
Aperitif is with appetizer, so
right, so
maybe
that's
it's
like before.
Yeah. And then you have dessert stuff.
I'm
which
sure
is
somebody who knows these things much better than I do will let me know in the comments.
We just pour a drink if you want to drink with dinner.
You're saying it all wrong. Anyway, if you were to have courses and you wanted a cleansing beverage to go in between these courses.
Oh, something in between courses. That's
I think
different.
this would work really well as that.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like the sorbet of alcohol.
Sure. I am missing the mouthfeel, though. That is a little bit disappointing. I feel like it needs more viscosity. It's a little on the watery side. Lots of flavor. That's why it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I actually like the late airiness of it.
I like deep, rich,
Yeah.
heavy.
See, I have appreciation for those things as well, but I don't think, to me, in my head, the fantasy beverage Fey Wine should be like this light, effervescent thing that you just don't really pay attention to, and then all of a sudden, things
You mean
happen.
like champagne?
But I don't really like champagne. So.
Yeah, I know. See, to me, I wanted this to end up a little more sweet, more fruity and floral, but I still wanted a rich, full body, I guess. So, to me, it's a little bit of a miss. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. It's just, it's also totally out of my wheelhouse. This is not my thing at all.
As far as things
Throw some
that
cinnamon in there, now we're talking.
would change, Brian wants it to be a more richer mouthfeel. So if we were to go back into time in our TARDIS that we don't have, we could push the tannins some. We can add a stronger honey forward
Oak it.
thing. We could oak it, and that might appease the Brian and throw a bunch of spices in it, of course.
Yeah, then it wouldn't be Fey Wine anymore.
For me, I think this would be really awesome sparkling.
Yeah.
A carbonated
If this was
wine.
carbonated, I would like it much more.
So
That could almost fool you into thinking there's more mouthfeel.
So I don't remember what yeast we used, but we
Probably like 71B.
Right. So if we wanted to carbonate something like this that went to 15%, we would have to introduce our priming sugar as well as a new yeast strain.
Yeah, like EC 1118 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's
That way you have a higher...
That's what those champagne yeasts are designed to do, is to go beyond what the normal yeasts do and make it all nice and bubbly.
And you have to be careful, because if there is residual sweetness still, and we do this, you probably don't need the priming sugar.
Right, right.
Because the yeast will eat that.
You would have to check your gravity reading and make sure that you're all
And since
good.
I don't know what this is,
Yeah.
it's not a recommended thing to do. I
Yeah,
can go
this-
back and check.
This is all speculation.
Yeah, but that's how you would do it
memory.
if you wanted to. We just have to give you the safety guidelines too.
Yes. Even though I think sparkling would be really lovely, I'm actually perfectly fine with it as it is. I'm not having the same reaction to it that Brian is.
I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it. It just wouldn't be the first thing I'd reach for.
Now that time that I smelled it, I didn't get the strawberry so much. I got more like cotton candy or some sort of sugary candy. Like maybe even sweet tarts or something.
All right, I'm going back for more.
I'm really enjoying that there's a lot of different layers here. There's sweetness, there's fruitiness, there's that juicy fruit that really gets you salivating. And then there's some stronger astringencies and almost bitterness that aren't negating the pleasure of it, but they're like little punctuation notes along as you travel through the flavors of the beverage. And
This actually tastes like a certain white wine that I've had. If you were to add a little bit of a hint of strawberry to it. I'm trying to place it. I can't remember the name of the wine. But there is a white wine that I've had that this tastes almost the same.
so along those lines, if you wanted to do food pairings, you could do any white wines food pairings and just transfer this out. However, I don't think I would recommend cooking with this, particularly if you're doing a main course. I don't think...
The fruitiness might throw it off.
Yeah. You could use it perhaps along with a sugary syrup to soak in baked goods, like a dessert type thing. I think it would be nice.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't use it as a base for cooking a main course.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. All right. It's time for numbers.
It is time for numbers. 10 means it's awesome. 1 means it's awful. 5 means, yeah, it's good. So,
I'll expand on that a little bit more. 10 means it's really, really good. There's not like anything I would do to change it. It's probably the first thing I would reach for. 1 means no way am I drinking that. Probably gonna dump it. 5 means, 5 is like the cutoff for I would grab that and drink it willingly. Below 5, I probably would not just not have a drink that day, if that's all that we had. So that's my scale. Her scale may be slightly different, and it usually is because she always goes lower than I do. But anyway, are you ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3,
9.
5.5.
See? That was probably the most drastic difference
Yes, it
between
is.
scores ever.
I will go first.
That means it's all mine.
I gave it a 5.5 because I would still drink this with certain meals. If she said, hey, I'm gonna have some Fey wine, do you want some? I would have a small glass. I would never reach for this all on my own. I would never choose this over some of the other things that I prefer to drink. That's the truth. It's just not my thing. I think it came out fine for what it was intended to be. And I'm really glad that she enjoys it because it was really made for her, obviously. For me, it's just not doing it. It just doesn't work.
I like this. I like this a lot. And I'm already starting to think of when would I be drinking this? I would be drinking this when I would normally go for a white wine.
Why do I have a Dr. Seuss rhyme in my head right now?
Because it's in my head. I would drink this with a box. I would drink this in a box.
Yeah.
I would drink this in the garden, doing some work. I would drink this after doing garden work, particularly mowing the yard. I'm really curious to see what it tastes like iced, because I feel like it's leaning itself towards
Carbonated, I would give it an
summertime-
extra point. I would go to 6.5 if it was
Summertime drink.
carbonated.
I've really gotten into cocktails lately not because I like frou-frou stuff, even though occasionally I do like frou-frou stuff, but because when I mix other things that aren't alcoholic with alcohol, I can drink more of it.
Yes. You have to understand the way Derica drinks. If you pour her this much in a glass, by the time you put the bottle away, it's going to be gone. If you pour her a mug this big, by the time you put the bottle away, it's probably half gone. Because she drinks it like she drinks water.
I was thirsty.
So instead of giving her 150,000 proof something this big, you give her this much of it and fill the rest with non-alcoholic things, and that way she still gets the alcoholic presence without falling on the floor in 5 minutes.
So my cheater way of carbonating this would be to make a cocktail, and since I've already gone mentally down the path towards a spritzer type thing, I would probably mix it with like club soda or seltzer water or something like that. And Cointreau?
Yeah, the orange liqueur.
The orange liqueur. Well,
I think we need to try that.
I think it's right back there.
I'll find it. All right, so I have an idea. I'm gonna make her a cocktail.
We fished out of our shelves of many things
From right behind me.
some Cointreau, which is a orange French distilled.
It's Italian, I
It's
think.
Italian?
Yeah. Pretty sure it's Italian.
Looks French to me.
You're right. That might be French. Product of France. It's French. What do you know? It's an orange liqueur. I use it with whiskey to make the 10-second old-fashioned. It sort of tastes like an old-fashioned. It's not exactly the same, but it works really nice.
It's very nice.
So I'm just going to do like a little splash. Something like that. And then,
We also have a wide selection of bitters.
by wide, she means we have 2.
We have 3. There's the other one's hiding somewhere.
All right. This is just regular Peychaud's. I'm just going to do like 2 drops. Because this is a small glass.
I ended up becoming very fond of bitters thanks to a woman whose name I don't remember, but we like to call her Dinosaur because she has
T-Rex.
really cool, right, we call her T-Rex, because she had a really cool T-Rex pendant on her necklace. She was waitress at one of the lovely Italian restaurants in
Vegas.
and we had just flown into Vegas,
She
and
was sick.
I was not well. My stomach was not happy, and here I am surrounded by all these world-class restaurants, and I feel ick.
Yeah, that was the first day.
So we go there, and I tell my woes to this very lovely lady, and she says, I'll be right back. And she, without hesitation, zooms to the bar, gets the bartender to mix me a
Bitters and ginger ale, like an actual ginger ale.
Actual ginger ale and bitters. And she gave it to me, and she says, it's on the house, try it, let me know if it helps. If not, you know, I can try something else or whatever. And
Within like 20 minutes, you were hungry, you were eating, and you felt fine.
Yes, she was my savior.
So we went out and got a bunch of bitters.
This is for T-Rex.
Did I improve it? I added the bitters because they do have a little bit of a bittering, and Cointreau tends to be overly sweet, so I didn't want to...
I don't even know if I can taste the Fey Wine anymore, but I'm sure it's still in there. That's really nice, though.
I think it mixes nicely with the Fey Wine. The orange and the strawberry with the flowery.
Play well.
Wow, that's really nice. I can see her drinking a lot of these.
It tastes sweeter.
This is what I wanted Fey Wine to taste like.
So there you go, folks. What are we going to call this concoction? Concoction. That's the word I'm looking for.
I don't know. I didn't expect to do it. I don't have a name prepared. I was not prepared for that question. If anybody has any ideas on what we can call this cocktail, tell us in the comments below. Make the Fey Wine, wait a year, add some Cointreau, add some bitters, make your own cocktail. It's really good. You can actually mix all this together and leave it in the bottle. You can actually do that.
Yeah,
It'll mellow over time and be even better.
You can fortify it with,
you can totally do that.
Alcohol of choice.
And you saw, it was like a splash. You know, I measured. It was that much. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.
Bye-bye.